I ended my engagement and today I'm moving out. There wasn't any betrayal. He didn't cheat or anything. Honestly, I just changed my mind. Sometimes clarity comes quietly. And choosing yourself doesn't always need a big explanation. But my village, the women in my life are so amazing. They've shown up for me in more ways than one, helping me pack, sitting with me, praying for me, making a hard transition feel lighter just by being there. I'm so grateful for community, for having people who hold you up when you're stepping into something new. So here I am, closing this chapter, putting pieces of my old life into storage and stepping into a new season. I don't know exactly what the future holds, but I am excited. I feel at peace and I'm ready for what's next in the new year. I ended my engagement.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we give all praises and honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kaha Kodash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, elders, GMS. And, you know, it was going to be another video I was going to play, but I'm not even going to play that part. I wanted to tune in on this particular topic. And you see this is like an ongoing trend is what's going on with these women, man. And what I would say, right, is, you know, looking at it from a different perspective. Because, you know, the real reason, you know, a lot of the reason why this is starting to happen, because I know the Elder Apostle Gabar did a video about a woman. She ended up leaving her husband. And, you know, the thing is with women really don't, they make these videos and they don't really, they try to sugarcoat, right? And obviously we don't know the full context of what's going on here. But the one that the woman ended up leaving her husband is because she ended up, which she didn't say it, but she ended up making more money, right? And that was a turn-off factor from her, and she ended up leaving. And then now, I think she was 30 when it happened, and now she's 54. Not her, not this girl in this video, but the video from the Elder Apostle Gabar. Well, it's been an ongoing trend to where, you know, you are in a perfect relationship, right? And you end up leaving because you just aren't so-called happy, or you new experiences, or you making more money. And that's really 9 times out of 10 what ends up happening is when the woman ends up leaving, she starts to make more money. And obviously women by nature want to be with somebody that is superior than them in pretty much all aspects. And if you're making more money than them, than a man, then the women end up leaving because you want to find somebody better that's making more money, right? And, you know, what's really happening is, you know, you being fattening, you're being fatting, how do you say it? You're being fattened up, you know, pretty much for the kill, right? And what that means is the way society is going, right? And the way that it's getting ready, the thing that's getting ready to take place on the earth, you know, Esau is making it cool and giving you the standard and showing you all these things, right? How it's much better to be without a man so he can set you up and leave you out there high and dry, man. And it's going to be a decision. If we had 20 years or 10 years left in this place, she would go back online and be like she made a bad decision when she gets in her 50s or however, 40s, whatever the case. Because she literally said there, he didn't do nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong. He didn't cheat and do none of that. Which that's not a thing anyway, but whatever. Nothing wrong, nothing happened, but you just decided, you know what, it's time for me to go on to the next stage of your life. And the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to go to the next man and to the next man. Then you realize you made a bad mistake. But then it's going to be a point in time to where every woman, right, is going to need some type, right, of masculine protection, right? And what's happening is it's becoming so normal and cool for women just to do things like that, and you don't really understand the time period that you're living in. You're just doing it off pure emotion, right? And what this gonna lead to is you gonna try to end up realizing how bad you fucked up and try to get back with that man, and that man's gonna move on, and it's gonna be too late, right? And the specific man that you're gonna need protection to is obviously a man of the Lord. Ain't gonna be no Pookie and Ray Rays and drug dealers and all these people, because they're not even gonna be protect themselves in that day, in the time to come. You're gonna need specific protection from on high, right? And the thing is, women, Esau has set the standard up in this place to where for the women to not really understand and see the value in men right now. And that's how he's setting it up. Until everything is starting to get stripped away, and then you're gonna realize that you're gonna need one. Right? And I remember I made a video about they won't see the value in us now. Right? And I kind of touched on that subject a little bit. But then I remember when I used to, I don't watch them really ever anymore, but Fresh and Fit. And I know Myron Gaines, he said, I forgot how he exactly said it, but that when, the other countries, when they're in like these societies to where, it's not as much liberty as you have here in the other third world countries, right? They lean more on the men because they have to, right? And women understand their role. They understand they're not, on equal par with men. So the respect and all that other stuff is there because they know that they need them. And this society is completely backwards, and they teach you the opposite. Because this society is about really, right, the women. That's why you can be with somebody, divorce them, get so much money from them, and just go sleep around, go to this man, and you keep doing it with no really repercussion, right? And you got some men to take you back after doing something like that. You see, and it's all been being shaped for when everything is stripped away from you at one time, right? Then you're gonna really understand how the serpent that this man is. Because he's setting you up, he's fattening you up for the kill. And then you go online, you make these videos, show how happy you are, this and that, and then of course you're gonna have a whole bunch of other women. Oh yeah, sister, you leave, you when time's up, and then do this and just leave and do that and see. And that's gonna be the downfall, man. It's gonna be the downfall. Because the men's authority has been pushed way down to the bottom in this place. And it's not like that by accident. They're doing it on purpose. Because the time when Jacob's trouble happens, martial law and all this stuff going to kick off, when troops are kicking in people's doors, rounding you up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the only thing you got on is damn bra and panties. They going to have it. Man, look, man. Times is coming to where, you being your entrepreneur and whatever you doing with these women, whatever you doing, women do nowadays, when you're making all this money, it's not going to be able to do nothing for you in that time, man. And Esau knows this stuff, but he's setting it up. He's setting it up for this, for the women empowerment, women freedom, liberty, and doing all this other stuff. And it's just not meant for it. This is why there needs to be, that's why Yahweh Shai needs to come back to set order back in the society, man. Because, as free as women are right now, you were never meant to have that much freedom, man. And the reason why is because you see what goes on in earth, that women have all this freedom, and you have the liberty to do pretty much anything you want to do. And look what you do with it. Right, people gonna get mad. You say that, brother. Shut up. It doesn't matter, man. It's the truth. It's literally the truth. Here it is. You have a perfect situation from how you described it, and now you just want to leave. There and see, obviously she ain't gonna give you the full story. She ain't gonna talk about money, finances. She ain't gonna talk about none of that. She's just gonna think she just got this. She just woke up one day and be like, I'm done. No, man. You see, and then you see when people post this video, you show the video you smiling and doing all this and doing all that and play it again without the sound though. Y'all happy in new life and telling everybody to encourage people to do the same exact thing, but you're gonna realize that how bad of a mistake it is. Because, women act based off emotion, man. Off of emotion. So at that time, obviously, emotionally, it felt good for you. Then you have probably all your other women friends that's helping you do all this stuff. It's single. And then, one woman's making a bad decision. Then when you have a whole bunch of other single friends, they going to encourage you to keep doing the bad decision. Because they don't give you the best advice, man. Now, this video right here is not, don't get me wrong now. I'm not here to get on it, but I'm here to give, awareness and for you to understand that what you're doing is not going to be in your best benefit, man. And just like how that woman in that video was talking, actually, you know what? I want to pull it up. I want to include it in the include it in what I'm talking about. Let's see here. We'll go find it. Because now I want to include it. Let's see. Here we go.
Yeah, based on a video that
I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
But as I think you are. Living by themselves, women, that it's okay for your women, that it's so living by themselves. There is Are you stupid as I think you are? Let me tell you something, right? There is a generation of women who are living by themselves, and we talking about old Keishas living by themselves, and they're selling this idea to other women, younger women, that it's okay to grow old and be alone as long as you have your career, as long as you have your as long as you have your degrees, you're fine. You'll be fine. But in all actuality, you start looking at them and looking at their life, and this video right here is pretty sad. And the Keishas that watched this video didn't see how sad this video was. They looked at it, and the only thing they focused on was one part of the story, but didn't focus on the rest. And that's because a lot of them are financially struggling. So when they hear anything of any success, that's all they want to talk about, because they don't have, usually they tend not to have any success anywhere when it comes to marriage, when it comes to, their careers, they always in debt. So when they hear any small little thing about, making bettering yourself with a better salary and going on trips, that's the only thing they think about, because they live in this fantasy world where all that matters. But to us, that's just regular. But anyway,
That's true. When it comes to reality, the so-called black woman, she lives in the Walt Disney world. As a matter of fact, Walt Disney movies is one of her favorites, so-called black women. I know that for a fact. A lot of the so-called black women I've gotten up with, a lot of them were into Walt Disney crap, okay? They don't deal with reality. But see, we're in a time where reality is going to slap you right upside the head, okay? And that's to all you women, especially to you so.
And it's going to hit you, and it's going to hit you hard, man, and it's going to come fast. You see, the whole, even with the food stamp thing, when that happened, all so-called black women was on the internet hooting and hollering, man, and that was just food stamps. So it's still, you can see how if something dramatic, which it is going to happen, if something dramatic was just to hit society, it's going to be you're going to be caught with your, as they say, you're going to be caught with your pants down, man. You're going to be caught with your pants down. Because you're so used to Esau just giving you this, giving you that. You can do this, you can do that. Be what you want to be. Do this, do that. And it's that, it goes back to the garden, man. you eat of that fruit. You eat of the philosophies. It sounded good to you. You go, I can do this. I can do that. I can have my own money. I don't got to listen to a man. I can be my own boss. It sounds good. It entices you. You having them itching ears. They telling you what you want to hear. And you you buying into it. You start eating it. Take a bite of it. You see it. And then you be like, whoa, I can expand it. I can eat more and I can expand it more. I can do this. I can do this. You see? And you don't understand what's really going on because you're not looking at the other side of the story. Like the dude, I don't know his channel. It's AC Reacts, right? Just like he said, you're not looking at the other side of the story. You're just seeing the surface level. You're just seeing, oh, you can become a doctor, become a nurse. You can make $200,000. You can drive that Mercedes. Look at the tires on that thing, man. Look at the rims. You put the spinners on it. Put the spinners on the AMG package. You can live in this high-rise luxury apartment. You don't need no man. Just get your degree. Do this. You see, and you listening to it. And there's nothing wrong. Obviously, we in captivity. There's nothing wrong with you having a good job, making good money, whatever the case may be. There's nothing wrong with that. However, right, when you are that is your main focus and purpose and following these people's philosophy, the serpent, you following these people, man, it is going to lead you astray. Because you understand, these people are our enemies. Your enemy, an enemy of yours is not going to do things for your benefit. You may see it for your benefit, but in the long, because they're playing the game of checkers with you. They're playing the long-term goal. So right now, you might, oh yeah, you can get a degree, you can vote, you can do this, you can do that. Oh yeah, I can do this now. I don't need no man. And then, boom. Society is a place to where society is now in a place where you need a man. People are breaking in people's houses. Ain't no food on the table. Your job, ain't no more clocking in, clocking out. Your damn Mercedes don't work. All the power grid go down. Can't charge your car. Because that's what you people are stupid, man. Buying electric cars and shit, that's dumb. Stupid. And then you fucking can't charge your car now. Now you can't go nowhere. Car putting no gas in. That's the only car that you got. Your damn whole high-rise luxury apartment is all internet. Now you're locked inside of it. Can't even open the door. Whatever the case may be, man. It's all being set up. And it's going to be too late. Because when the deal goes down, it's gonna happen like that, man. You're going to be like, oh, shit. What a difference a day makes, man. You see how fast when the whole COVID-19 thing happened? Look how fast life changed. And even then when that happened, the effects of what happened during that time is still today. For an example, Walmart used to be 24 hours, man. Before that whole thing, Walmart used to be 24 hours. Now, I don't think there's not a single 24-hour Walmart no more. Not a single one. Now I could be wrong about that, but where I'm from and where I live at, nowhere to be found. Just like that. Something so simple like that changed. Jobs were shut down and you couldn't work unless you got the hokey pokey. It's a whole bunch of shit, man. Can change just like that. And that was just a test run. That was just that whole COVID-19 thing, that was the test run. That was to see how far you niggas will go just to get your damn folly back. What would you do for you can go shake your ass back at the club? Are you willing to take this damn hokey pokey? You don't know what's in it. First off, it takes way longer than that to make a whole vax. So the fact that that shit came out the next year, it lets you know something was up, man. And they was giving up, and Esau wants his money. And the fact that it was free, and then they were giving you incentives to take it. I made videos about that. Fucking free dances, strip club, free donuts, chicken, Popeye. It was all types of shit for you to take that, man. But you just looking at the base level. You seeing that fruit, and you be like, okay, well, let me see what it tastes like. And then you taste it, you bite into it, it's all sweet, just juicy. You be like, let me eat some more of it. Hey, where's the tree at? Let me go get some more of it. You see, and that's the problem. I'm gonna keep playing the video though.
All black women. Anyway, let's move on.
Get to the video. Let's get to the video.
Yeah, let's get to
Single,
the video.
no kids, never married. I'm 54, single, no kids, never married. And I was
That's what you call an old maid.
this close to becoming the cat lady, but I chose myself instead. In 2002, before I lost both of my parents, I ended my engagement. He never said it, but his energy shifted. I had been
This is in 2002. She ended her engagement in 2002.
teaching second grade, but I started studying IT right before Y2K. People thought I was crazy for walking away from teaching, but I had a plan and it worked. I got certified, understood networking, and transitioned into corporate America. Tripled my salary and started traveling. And I think that's when everything really changed between us. We were still long distance. He had moved back home after not finding a job in Atlanta. But after my career shift, he distanced himself. No calls, no texts.
Now look at her.
Yeah, the reason why he distanced himself because she would have flaunted it in his face.
Anyway, yeah, exactly. You said tripled her salary, so she went from being a teacher to IT, in the IT, right? And immediately, and he said he moved back home, which I'm gonna assume that he moved back in with his parents or whatever the case may be, because they say that. So you already had that situation already right there was not gonna work out, man. It was not gonna work, especially as a woman. You eating up that fruit, tripling your salary. You ain't gonna look at that man as a man no more, especially if you move back home. It was not gonna work, man. You see now, in some, like, the thing is that this is only really a problem. See, the thing is, I've noticed from people other nations, right? They especially Edomites, man. You know, I got a couple, homies, whatever it is, Edomites or whatever the case may be, that I play the game with here and there. And one of them in particular, his woman is becoming a nurse, I think, or something like that, right? And she makes way more money than him. But the thing is, she does, as far as my knowledge, right? It's none of my business, but just for edification's sake and the point's sake, that she makes more money than him, but they still get married. They still do what they gotta do, and she probably doesn't look at him no different. She just looks at it as a job. It's just a job. That's all it is, man. Because I make more money, you don't make you less of a man. Don't make you less anything. You see. But then you got the other hand. Then you got Keisha's and them. On the other hand, if a so-called black woman makes more money than a so-called black man or whatever the case may be, trust me, man, you're not gonna hear the end of it. And I'm not gonna say that's every single case. That's not every scenario. But I've noticed that amongst us, amongst our women, that is the thing, man. And the other nations, women, it's not a problem, man. And I'm not gonna say that obviously some of them are I'm not gonna say all of them are like that. But I've noticed that the women of the nations, they don't care. They don't care, man. They gonna show it in your face. Oh, you doing this? You bum. They don't do that. That's amongst us. That's because Esau knows what he's doing, man. He's putting all these damn celebrities, this music. He's putting all this shit in your head for you to. Because once you take control of the women, man, the nation is done, man. And he knows that. The serpent knew that in the garden. That's why he went to Eve with the nonsense. And then Eve was like, okay, well, I'm down. Well, let me go run by him. Let me go let him eat of it. And then Adam was weak, in it, and then he ended up falling. You see, and that's how it goes. The story, of Adam and Eve is a lot deeper, right? Because first off, you have to understand what it actually was talking about. It was not talking about actual fruit. It wasn't a damn specific apple, just golden shiny apple that had all this aura around it. And Mosai didn't, you don't eat this one. It was not talking about that, man. But we're moving on.
See, in this society, right? This society, the so-called black woman is not a threat to the so-called white man. The so-called black man is. So the curses in this society fall harder on the so-called black man than it does on the so-called black woman. And she doesn't understand that. She don't want to understand that. She don't want to build with the so-called black man. She looks at him as a failure and that she's a success because she's getting the better end of society, because the number one reason is she's not really a threat. She's just a bedwench to the so-called white man society. But the so-called black man is a threat to this society. He can only go so far. And a lot of so-called black women, they don't want to understand that. They don't understand it, and they don't want to understand it. And that's why they don't want to build right along with the so-called black man. And that's the majority of them. Are there a few exceptions? Yeah. But the majority rules, okay? And that's why when all hell breaks loose, a lot of you so-called black women, you're going to be on your own. Like I said in the title, okay? This is why the so-called black woman will always lose. She never, ever takes accountability. And the thing is, y'all are going to be proud to the end. Instead of humbling yourself and saying, I fucked up, I couldn't, I thought I was all that because I was getting the better end in this society and you wasn't. I didn't understand the hell that you're going through. All right? I didn't want to work with you. I didn't want to show patience and build with you. I thought I was better than you. That's an example of taking accountability. You ain't going to have no so-called black woman saying that because she's going to be proud to the end. Now, which is why she's going to be on her own. Now, this is Isaiah.
I must fast forward a little bit. I want to get the rest of her story. Let's see here. Let's see here.
Look. She's 54 with a botched BBL.
A botched BBL. Now, you tell me this woman ain't totally retarded. They retarded. Around talking about where's the good man at. Women are totally retarded. Anyway, let's get back to the video. That's why the best thing a man can do is stay the hell away from you, because you're totally retarded. And eventually you're going to be destroyed and you're going to come back in the kingdom. Then you're going to be in your right mind. Okay?
Before
BBL. That all the what is that? Joe, women have. There's another script. Shame. And this woman.
I got the scripture
that you
pulled up too. Let me get that as well.
BBL. It's something to prove. BBL. Look how
soggy bottom.
Look how soggy it looks. It's just south.
Might be the best. So she might. Okay. You might be on the bottom. Okay, and that's why they will always lose, and they hate accountability. Let's go.
You see, when these Keishas start making more money, if they start making more money than the men they're with, they start to lose respect for them.
Yeah.
They start to lose respect for them. And when they start to lose...
No matter if that man has a high quality of character.
And just like to go back to that point, you know, from the other lady, she said there was nothing wrong. But obviously, like I said, she didn't give the full thing. But you can speculate that finances was definitely had to be involved.
He might be on the bottom at that time, but you know he got a plan, and she's not going to build with him. She's not about building with him. She want to be at the finish line. She's not about struggling. They call it struggle love. She's not about struggling with her man. And take this knowledge as truth seriously. We'd rather be alone, single. And Isaiah, okay? The tables are going to turn. The tables are going to shift. Let's go.
Respect for him. Instead of just leaving, they just start disrespecting him.
One of the curses too.
Let's see here.
Just start disrespecting him. Still get disrespect. Now, remember already, because
Damn BBL. The man.
Let's see. I want to get to
All
a
right,
little
stop
bit more of her
yourself.
story real fast.
Is that word husband again? Cheapening in yourself. You kills you. You hear that because you're the kills you.
let's
And your career is supposed to be your husband. You don't need a man. And a man and a woman are two, they're different as night is from day. You're most happy, you're miserable.
go.
Weeks would go by,
No matter how good you look.
and I could feel it. He wasn't alone on the other end of that silence. I didn't have proof, but I carried on. I focused on work. I was loving traveling, learning software. Now, it was stressful, but it was different. It was fun. It was what I wanted. I manifested it.
Man,
And I remember scripting.
these women kill me. So why can't you manifest a husband in your life? Why do you look so, look at her, she looks miserable. All right? She's aging like spoiled milk. Right? Why can't you manifest a husband in your life? These women are silly, man. Silly women, like the scripture says, silly women, laden with sins. Contracted the sins. Because you don't need no man. You so-called black women, you stay losing, man. That's why it's
By a day in a life,
about your dream husband. You see? You know.
I would take out that piece of paper and read it 2 to 3 times a day or whenever I thought about it. And now I was
That's
actually
right. Take those supplements. She is looking. She says 54. She looking 60 in the grill over here.
Yeah. Pretty damn sure she was hit. You women are.
stress of starting a new job, learning the
And
software.
then, okay, so pretty much what ended up happening, which I don't want to sit here and try to skip through all of it, but what ended up happening is she ended up, when she got in IT, she met another dude that was in IT before her, so he probably makes a little bit more money than her, and she ended up, seeing him, and then that didn't end up working out because he pitched you the sweet nothings. Cause the only thing he wanted was some box. And then you end up telling your husband, by the way, this was her husband. She ended up telling him about what happened, and he was done, man. And then you realize the decision that you end up making was a bad one, man. Now let's get and then this is why this is the thing, man. This is why it's in here. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, Slakia, 26, and we're gonna get to the point here. And let's see, you might want to read up a little bit. Let's see here. We'll just get straight to the point. In 10, it says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. It says, watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. You see, you're supposed to watch over, your daughters. Because she's going to end up abusing herself, through overmuch liberty. And that gets back to the original point that I was making. right, at the beginning, because that's what happens. You have so much freedom in this place just to do whatever, and we see the product of the freedom that you've been given. Do you see? And that's why, there's order. And that's why, the elder Apostle Gabar got it, but I'm going to get it too. Let's get Titus. One of my favorite ones. Let's get Titus. Pull up the blue letter. All right. The blue letter. We get Titus 2. It's 2 and 5. It says the duties of older and younger. It says, and I like this in the NLT. Let's see. Get this in the NLT. It says promote right teachings. It says Titus 2 and 1. It says, as for you, Titus, promote the kind of living that reflects wholesome teaching. Teach the older men to exercise self-control, to be worthy of respect, and to live wisely. It says they must have sound faith and be filled with love and patience. It says, similarly, teach the older women to live in a way that honors the Most High. It says they must not slander others or be heavy drinkers. It says instead they should teach others what is good. It says these older women must train the younger women to love their husbands, to go get an IT, get a new job, triple your salary, and forget about them, and then go sleep with another guy in the field. No, did not say that. It says to love their husbands and their children, to live wisely. Live wisely. Was both of these people, both of these women, these examples, was that living wisely? The answer is no. And be peered to their work, to work in their homes, to do good and to be submissive to their husbands. Then they would not bring shame on the word of the Most High. Right? It says, in the same way, encourage the young men to live wisely. Right? And you yourself must be an example to them by doing good works of every kind. Let everything you do reflect the integrity and seriousness of your teaching. Right? It says, teach the truth so that your teaching can't be criticized. Then those who oppose us will be ashamed and have nothing bad to say about us. You see, and that is what's completely have been gone from us, man, from the women. These older women nowadays are not teaching the younger women how to be women. Because now all these cousins and aunties and whatever the case may be, and parents, you ain't parenting no more. You ain't being, the older sister. You're not being the guardian. Because they're growing up seeing what you're doing, and you're not going to the club, multiple boyfriends, doing all this stuff, man. They're seeing you do this. I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's cool. So I'm gonna do it. You see, and that's why the order has to come back, man. Because with the order, there's not going to be a generation of this going on, man. Babylon the Great has completely twisted and moved everything out of course, man. Being under this man's rulership. There's no order. There's no order in anything. It's just a fucking free-for-all in this place. But that's all I'm going to say, man. There's more. I was going to go on for a lot longer, but the point is made, man. I just wanted to bring those examples out because after seeing that one, it's just like, what the thing is, I can understand if something was happening. He was beating on you or whatever the case may be. He was emotionally abusing, yelling at you or whatever the case may be, right? But, you just up and leaving when there's nothing wrong. Come on, man. But like I said, it's Esau fattening you up. He's setting you up. He's setting you up for the low blow. That's just what it is. And if you don't take heed, if you don't understand what's really going on, stop looking at it as the surface level. You need to start looking deeper. Right? You need to start looking deeper to what's actually being, shown and pushed and promoted in your face. Because obviously it's the reason behind it. You're behind enemy lines. You're in enemy territory. You're in his kingdom, and he doesn't like you. That is your number one enemy. You think your number one enemy is going to promote something to you, anything to you that's good? I'll let you answer that question.